Okay. You know, for this, I think it was called the Shadow Visions deck. Light Visions Tarot, there we go, that's what this deck is called. I get them mixed up, I have both of the sister decks and the names sometimes get me confused, but both of these decks have an extra card that isn't numbered. That's by all means part of the Major Arcana. It's in addition to the Major Arcana. It's called the Orchard and it looks like this. I have no idea if I said that word correctly. English is not my first language. This has fallen out maybe 3 or 4 times for me throughout the more than a year that I've owned these decks, and especially this deck because it is my favorite deck. And it feels specifically like a labyrinth, like a retreating into the self to walk your own labyrinth, to explore your own soul. And there's lots of twists and bends. But it's something for you to do for yourself. I've got 2 queens here. I've got both the Queen of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. And I think in this case, these might be the energies you end up developing in that labyrinth for yourself. You know, May for a lot of us has been a time of deep reflections into what we want, into who we are, who we think that we are, who we think that we should be, who we strive to be. And I feel like you guys have been spending a lot of time thinking about that for yourselves. And what you have emerged with is integrity. And this is an odd feeling to get from this Hierophant, but this is the feeling that I'm getting from it. There's integrity and a sort of resolution to not get embogged in this 4 of Chalices energy, because 4 of Chalices can be a very good card for some situations, but in this case it feels like it's nice to be there occasionally in the 4 of Chalices, but it's not great when you end up growing moss over yourself because you've been in the 4 of Chalices for so long. There's renewed integrity in you guys with the Hierophant. And there is a feeling that you guys have come out a lot better, kinder for it. You have learned how to share what you have with others. And you've learned to occasionally just... This is something that I think you also went back to when you were, you know, undertaking your labyrinth. There's no Minotaur at the core of it. It's just you and your labyrinth, you know. But this is something that you guys are also ruminating on when you were walking your labyrinth. Your childhoods and what you had there. And I actually think about it. I have a Gemini rising sign myself, and I don't usually feel it as hard as I do, but this reading is kind of meshing with my own personal May/June as well. So thinking back on your childhoods and what you actually, from that, what you want to grow for yourself, for your future. And this is already solid. This is not thinking about something in the past. This is building something solid for the future. So a very important inner journey. You know, there's a lot of mythos about, and, you know, Jungian psychology and everything about that, about going into a dark cave where you can't see, hear, feel anything, hear anything, where it's just reflecting on who you are as a person. And you have to go into that cave and you have to stay there. You have to not go mad there, and then once you head out, you are a far more solid, it's a weird expression, but that's what it feels like. You're far more solid in, you know who you are, in your self-identity, in who you actually are, not just who you want to be or who you imagine yourself to be or who others imagine you to be. This is strength in knowing who you are, no matter what anybody else thinks about you. And you guys, this is good. This is always good, especially after you've been going through either a period of tumultuousness and uncertainty, or also when you've just been growing moss over yourself because you've been stuck a little bit in the four chalices. So I'm really happy for you guys, actually. I feel like an angel card for you will do you some good. Let's see. Perhaps you will be as Prometheus and give light onto others. Yeah, you do. I actually do feel like that. I feel like your guys' inner journey and how you come out of it and how you improve out of it has the potential to bring growth and integrity not only to yourself but to others too. I'm not really that into astrology, but it feels like there's a potential for a lot of teaching moments for other people, or just even existing as yourselves, having gone through this inner journey. Just being yourself after that could be a thing that is a catalyst for a lot of other people around you to make that journey themselves, or perhaps just to examine what their ideas about themselves are. So, yeah. Go into the cave and bring out fire somehow, I don't know. Okay, you. Yeah. Angel of Truth. I feel like this is truth in the actual purest sense. Like your own truth, and not your own truth as distorted through the lens of what others have put on you before that, what your family, your parents, your colleagues, your friends think about you, but your own truth and your own integral core of who you are, and being sure in that integral core of who you are.